Okay, welcome back. This is still 1.8 order of operations. This is part 3, and I'm going to do 3 problems from the Hawks homework. So here's one that I did when I was doing the homework. So remember, let's follow the PEMDAS, and if you need to write it left to right, left to right. If you need to write it on the side, that's fine. If you need to write it on the side on a test or a quiz, that's also fine. So, let's see, what am I going to do first? I got parentheses, so I'm going to do this, right? And of course I'm going to bring everything down. What's a negative 6 minus 3, or what's a negative 6 and a negative 3? If I put those all together, I've got negative 9. Okay, exponents, I do have that right here, and we just talked about that. When the negative is in front, that means 3 times 3 times negative 1, which means a 9 times a negative 1, which is a negative 9. It's not a positive 9, but it's a negative 9. And remember, if you're not sure, go back to the previous video and you can check on your calculator. I show you how to punch it in. Okay, we did exponents. Multiply, divide, left to right. What comes first? As we're going, division comes first. What's negative 9 divided by negative 9? What's a negative divided by a negative? It's a positive 1. All right. And then multiplication, because we did the division. Now we're going to do the multiplication. 1 times 2 is 2. And then we're going to add the 6 and the 2. And if you were trying it on your own, you should have gotten 8. Okay, so that was one I had from Hawks. Let's try a harder one that I had on Hawks. Look at this one. Okay, so I'd write that down. Negative 10 plus 15 divided by negative 5. And in this book and in the homework, they put parentheses around a negative. You don't need to. If you don't want, you can just leave it negative 5 times 3 squared. And the minus is in front of the 10 squared. Okay, so this, we do have parentheses around this, but this is just, if you want, you can take it out, and it's just negative 5. Don't let that bother you. Okay. Do I have number 2's exponents? I've got 2 of them here. So I'm going to go left to right. So 3 squared is how much? 3 times 3 is 9. And then we've got the negative again in front of the 10 squared. So I do 10 times 10 is 100 times negative 1 is a negative 100. Good so far? Okay. I did exponents, multiplying, dividing left to right. Okay, so this is a plus. So here I'm going to divide right here. And I'm going to bring down everything else. What's 15 divided by negative 5? I've got a positive being divided by a negative. So that's a negative 3. We could put minus 3 if that's helpful, or you could do plus a negative 3. And again, I'm using a dot right here, but that just means quicker shorthand for multiplication. Okay, I did division. Now I'm going to do multiplication. What's a negative 3 times a positive 9? It's going to be negative, right? So that's a negative 27. And then I have all negatives. Got a negative 10, negative 27, and a negative 100. If it's easier to do this, or if not, look away. Some people prefer this. Since they're all negatives, we're just going to put them all in one pot, add them all together. Negative 10, bring out the calculator for that. So negative is down here, so negative, whoops, let's turn it on. Negative 10 plus negative 27 plus negative 100. Can I get this up here? Whoops, sorry. Equals negative 137. So I just added all the negatives, or you could do negative 10 minus 27 minus 100. The minus is over here by the 6. And we're going to get the same answer. So my final answer is negative 137. Okay, last but not least, let's do a fraction. Okay. 1/2 plus 8 over 6 divided by 8 over 2. Okay, we're still following the PEMDAS. What are we going to do first? We don't have parentheses, we don't have exponents, we do have multiply, divide. The only thing I see is the division. So remember, we reviewed this in the prior video. So I'm going to bring down the half, and I'm going to keep the first fraction. I'm going to change this to a times, and then remember I'm going to flip. I'm going to flip the 8 over 2, it becomes 2 over 8. And let's see, the 8s are on the diagonal, so you know you can cancel those out, right? So I've got, and 6 we can rewrite as 3 times 2. Okay, so I might have gone a little quick on that. I just saw that the 8s matched up, so whenever a number matches up, you can cancel them out. So I canceled those 8s out. And then on this diagonal, I see 2 can go into 6. 6 is, another way to write 6 is 3 times 2. So, I'm sorry, I canceled these 2's out. So I've got 1/2 plus 1/3. Now in the last video, I didn't talk about how to add fractions. You might need to review that, but remember we need to get a common denominator. So let me do that for you. I'm adding, 1/2 and 1/3, and we need to get a common denominator. Well, what's a number that 2 and 3 can both go into? Well, or you could multiply 2 times 3 and get 6, which is the common denominator. Or you could do an LCM if you remember that from Math 85. So remember, I'm going to take each fraction, the 1/2 and the 1/3, and I need to change them over to the same denominator so I can add them together. This is different from multiplying and dividing. We need to get a common denominator and change them both over to that common denominator. Let's see, if you want to do 2 times 3 is 6. Put that up there. Or you might just think, well, 2 can go into 6, 3 can go into 6. 6 is the common denominator. So now we're going to change these over. 2 times what is 6? 2 times 3 is 6. What I do to the bottom, I have to do to the top. So 1 times 3 is 3. So 1/2 equals 3 over 6. And now I'm going to change 1/3 over to 6's. So 3 times what is 6? Or 6 divided by 3 if that's easier. So 3 times 2 is 6. 1 times 2 on the top is 2. So 1/3 is now 2 over 6. So we can add these together because their denominators are the same. This is 3 over 6 and this is 2 over 6. They're the same size pieces, so we can put them together. We just add across the top, and we get a final answer of 5 over 6. Okay. So, try the homework for 1.8. And if we need to do some more, we can do some more when we meet in class. Okay, good luck.